The Roman Empire is one of the most important subjects in world history. And if you want to learn the entire history of it from its founding up until the fall of Rome in just 7 minutes, well, today you're in luck because that's what I'm going to try and do. Buckle up. Rome was founded in 753 BC according to legend by Romulus, who killed his twin brother, Remus, after the two of them had been raised by a she-wolf. From these humble beginnings, Rome grew into a small kingdom ruled over by a series of kings. The last king of Rome was Tarquinius Superbus, and he was hated so much by the Romans that they overthrew him and replaced him with an elected magistrate, establishing the Roman Republic in 509 BCE. Now, this is important because for over 2 centuries, Rome was not an empire, it was a republic. Now, throughout the next couple of centuries, Rome would conquer all of Italy, and in 264 BCE, they went to war against the Carthaginians in the First Punic War. This war was fought over control of the Mediterranean island of Sicily, and Rome won, gaining them their first overseas territory. In 218 BCE, Hannibal Barca, a general from Carthage, crossed the Alps with an army of 50,000 men. Roads were being built, trade was expanding, culture was flourishing, and life was good. But this prosperity did not last long. In 133 BCE, Tiberius Gracchus tried to reform the Roman Republic by taking land from the rich and giving it to the poor, but he was killed by the Roman Senate before he could complete his reforms. In 121 BCE, Gaius Gracchus tried to continue his brother's work, but again was unsuccessful and also met an early demise. In 111 BCE, Gaius Marius became the first Roman general to raise an army of 100,000 men, an unprecedented number at the time. He used this force to conquer the kingdom of Numidia in North Africa. After this, civil wars erupted in Rome between Marius and his rival Sulla over who would control the Roman army and therefore the Republic. These civil wars continued throughout the next century until Julius Caesar emerged victorious in 44 BCE. Caesar then became dictator of Rome, effectively ending the Roman Republic and establishing the Roman Empire. Caesar was assassinated by a group of senators who were opposed to his new autocratic style of rule. Then Caesar's adopted son Octavian defeated Caesar's assassins and became the first emperor of Rome, ruling over the empire from 27 BCE to 14 CE during his reign. He restructured the military, reformed the civil service, and reorganized the entire Roman state. Augustus also expanded Rome's borders into modern-day France, Spain, and Germany. He reigned for over 40 years and was succeeded by his stepson, Tiberius, who ruled from 14 to 37 CE. The Julio-Claudian dynasty then continued through Caligula, Claudius, and Nero, who infamously burned much of Rome to the ground in 64 CE. It is said that Nero also persecuted the Christians, although the extent to which he did so is debated by historians. After Nero, a series of emperors ruled during what is known as the Year of the Four Emperors, including Galba, Otho, Vitellius, and Vespasian. Vespasian established the Flavian dynasty and was succeeded by his son Titus, who completed the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 CE after the Jewish revolt and dedicated the Colosseum in 80 CE after Titus. The empire was ruled over by Domitian, who was infamous for his cruelty and paranoia. He was eventually assassinated by his wife and a freed slave in 96 CE. Then came the Nerva, who established the Second Antonine dynasty. In 98 CE, Nerva adopted Trajan as his heir, and upon Nerva's death, Trajan became emperor. He successfully campaigned in Dacia and expanded the Roman Empire to its greatest territorial extent. Upon Trajan's death in 117 CE, Hadrian became emperor. Hadrian famously visited all parts of the empire to make sure it was secure. He built Hadrian's Wall in Britain and made Athens the cultural center of the Roman world. After Hadrian, the Antonine dynasty continued with Antoninus, Pius, Marcus Aurelius, who famously wrote the book Meditations, and his son Commodus, who was notoriously portrayed by the actor Joaquin Phoenix in the movie Gladiator. During the 3rd century, Rome was plagued by civil wars and economic instability. In 235 CE, there were 26 emperors in just 90 years. The empire was divided into 3 parts, and there was a general feeling of the empire crumbling around them. However, Diocletian came to power in 284 CE and stabilized the empire by dividing it into 2 halves, with himself ruling over the west from Nicomedia and Maximian ruling over the east from Milan. After Diocletian, the empire was ruled over by a series of tetrarchs, meaning 4 rulers, including Constantius I, who was the father of Constantine the Great. In 306 CE, Constantius was campaigning in Britain when he died, and shortly thereafter Constantine declared himself Augustus in 307 CE and moved his capital to Byzantium, renaming it Constantinople. Constantine also converted to Christianity, although he didn't make it official until 380 CE when Theodosius I became the first officially Christian emperor. Following Constantine, the empire was ruled over by a series of emperors until in 476 CE, when the Germanic general Odoacer deposed Romulus Augustus, the last emperor of the Western Roman Empire. However, the Eastern Roman Empire, also known as the Byzantine Empire, continued on for another 1,000 years until 1453, when it fell to the Ottoman Turks, and that's the entire history of the Roman Empire in just 7 minutes. You can really appreciate how long it was here. I mean, look at all this. I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe learned something new. If you did, please like and subscribe. And if you have any feedback for me, feel free to leave a comment down below. Thank you.